Hey, good evening, my friends. Anthony Fontana here, live after 5, coming at you after a hell of a day, a very busy one. I hope everyone's doing fantastic. I want to talk a little bit about something that's a little bit more intense than I normally talk about because I'm going through probably my 10th or 12th reading of The Power of Intention by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Wayne's passed. I believe 3 years ago he passed away. Hey, Richie. And he left a legacy that, for me, I mean, he literally is probably the most important mentor I've ever had in my life. His thought process, when I first started listening to him, or actually reading his one of his earlier books, he always seemed to me way over the top, like way past my realm of being understanding what the heck he was talking about. But as I got to reading more and more and hearing him and seeing him live, I started understanding much, much more. And as a result, my life took a major turn and got dramatically better, not just incrementally better. I'm talking by factors of several powers in terms of what happens in my life and how I attract the things that I desire into my life. I base most of my life now on how he taught me, on the things he taught me. I'm going to encourage you to pick up the book, Power of Intention by Dr. Wayne Dyer. If you haven't read it before, it might be pretty strong for you. I don't know. His earlier books were very difficult for me to read, and they sat on my shelf for years until I picked one up and actually read through it. And I guess I was at a better place in my life to understand it a little bit more. So I want to encourage you to pick it up. But let's just go through a couple of things. One of the biggest secrets in the book, one of the things that I picked up, my favorite thing is I wrote it down here. You get what you intend to create by being in harmony with the power of intention, which is responsible for all creation. We tend to live our lives using our ego as the basis for who we are. We allow our possessions to define us, what you have, the stuff that you have. Your possessions don't define you, my friends. They just don't. We use our profession to define ourselves. You ask somebody what they are, and they say, "I'm an accountant. I'm a corporate banker. I'm an investor. I'm a clothier. I'm a tailor." They tell you what they do, and they equate what they do with who they are, and who they are is the humans being, right? We're encased in intention is not I intend to do something. I'm not referring to that like the verbiage of intention, the word how it's defined. I'm talking about the very fabric of how this universe is, what this universe is, the fact that everything is part of a fabric that has been literally discovered by some of the great physicists. They've actually equated this universe to a giant sheet that we live in and part of. You can't separate ourselves from it. It's just not possible. There is no place where you are separated from anything else. So when you talk about your possessions or what you do, or one quick one, let me just grab it here real quick. How you define what others think of you. How other people think of you isn't who you are. Other people's opinions of you is not who you are. How you define yourself is not based on what you think you're separated from, anything that you desire. You're not separated from anything that you want. It's there for you, but you're not connected to the plug. You're not connected to the socket or to the source of where it is to bring it to yourself. And that's all based on mindset. You're not separated from anyone else, right? And you're not separated from God. There are 6 things that we use as our ego, and we assume that you have to be in God's favor. Well, you're not separated from God. I firmly believe that because there's no place you can be where He is not. It's just not possible. Everything exists because He said it does, and that's the fabric. That's the intention that I'm speaking to. So when Wayne talks about intention, he's talking about the very fabric of the universe that you're already a part of, but because your ego is defining you in ways that are not part of what intention actually is, you separate yourself. You're not plugged in. That's just a fact. And when I learn to plug in, and I'm not perfect at it, I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life and trying to master it, I find that things speed up for me in a positive way when I separate myself and from my ego. Like, I don't let my ego to define anything in my life. At least I try to. It's not easy to do, to be real honest with you. But he talks about a few things in the book, and I want you to buy the book, that there are 7 phases of the power of intention. And I put them here on the post, so I want you to read them. Hi, Franny. How are you? Hey, Fabian. What's going on, brother? And Richie's here, my friend Richie. What's going on, buddy? So the first one that he talks about is be creative. Now, I'm going to just read how I wrote this out. It means trusting your own purpose and having an attitude of unbending intent in your day-to-day thoughts and your day-to-day actions. In other words, how you think every single day is you're being creative. You're creating your life. That's being creative. I'm not talking about doing a painting or creating a piece of pottery. I'm talking about creating your life. You are the creator. You are the landscaper of your life. You're the director and the producer of your life. The movies that you create in your mind, you can actually have those movies become real, but you have to have a connection to the power of intention. Number 2, it talks about being kind. Everything that's manifested in this universe is designed to thrive. Everything, every bug, every bird, every human being. We're designed to thrive. And unfortunately, we don't necessarily thrive, but you have to have a kind way about you. And intention will reward you by giving you more and more and more of what you want. You have to have a kindly way about you. You have to have a giving soul, a giving spirit. You have to have kind thoughts toward others, and you have to be kind toward life in general. You just have to be. Because if you're not kind to anyone or anything, well, why would the universe give you any more to handle? Because how are you going to handle it? You're not going to handle it, are you? He talks about being love. You're intended out of love. You must be love in order to intend. Love is cooperation rather than competition. He said, love is the force behind the will of God, and it's a spiritual vibration that carries divine intentions from the formless to the concrete. Love. Love conquers pretty much everything. I have found that out in my own life many, many times. And I just love that aspect of my life, that I have a general love of things and of people, and it keeps me happy, okay? Because I don't walk around miserable all day long, and because I'm not miserable, good things come to me because my cup is always half full, never half empty. Number 4, he talks about beauty. Hey, Pet, what's going on? He talks about being, be beauty, right? As you awaken to your divine nature, you'll begin to appreciate beauty in everything that you see, touch, and experience. I can literally, sit outside in the dark and just look up at the stars in awe. It boggles my mind how teeny tiny our existences in the overall scheme of this universe. The universe is 46 billion light years wide, and we can't even see where it ends. That light has not even gotten to us yet. It's unfathomably large. And that's incredible. If you look at the science behind everything, the spin of the earth, the orbit that we have, how electrons work, how electricity acts, how gravity affects our day-to-day living, it's just amazing how everything is designed for a purpose. All of it. Very important. Be abundant. Be abundant. Intention is endlessly abundant. There is no shortage in this world. There is no shortage anywhere. There's enough wood to build 1 million homes for every human being alive today. Simply put, there's enough gold in the ground to last for another 100 million years. There's enough of everything. We have everything we need. We just don't utilize it correctly. There's no scarcity in a universe, in the invisible world of spirit. There is no scarcity. There's unlimited. If you understood this one process, you will know that there is everything available to you that you need. Everything. All the tools are there. You just have to exercise your will toward getting them, toward bringing them to you. They're there for the taking. It's all about having an inner picture of abundance, thinking in unlimited ways, being open to the guidance that intention provides when you're in a state of rapport with it, and then being in a state of ecstatic gratitude and awe of how the whole gosh darn thing works. In a nutshell, that's what intent wants you to be. It wants you to understand you can have anything in this universe. You have to decide that it's already there for you. You have to elect to have it come to you. Oftentimes, we squash our own dreams, our own desires by thinking opposite of what we want. And we say, I want this, but I'm not going to get it. I want that, but I can't have it. I want this, but someone's interfering with me. You automatically block yourself out of what you want. Be receptive. The universal mind is ready to respond to anyone who recognizes their true relationship with it. If you understand your relationship to who you are and your place in this universe will provide for you in measured way, in unmeasurable ways that you can't even think about. You cannot outgive a giver, and the universe is the biggest giver in existence. It's there to give to you. It's there to make you thrive. I want you to pay attention to this. This stuff is complex. I can't get into a 250-page book in a 10-minute video. I want you to go get the gosh darn book. If any of you can't afford to buy a $1 or $2 Amazon book, let me know. I'll buy it for you. You need the book. No question about it. I want you to be ever expansive. The all-emerging universal force intended you into being and commences all life, and it's always growing and perpetually expanding. By being in an ever-expanding state and growing intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually, you're identifying with the universal mind. We talked about the trees that I have outside. Some of those puppies are over 200 years old. How the heck did they grow for 200 years? Yes, some branches fall off, they die, insects get there, birds are doing things, but the trees themselves have never moved from where they started, from a little seed 200 plus years ago. They've attracted to themselves every single thing that they need. It's a tree. You're not a tree. You're not planted in one spot. You're connected to the same source that tree's connected to, and it doesn't have a brain, but it certainly has a mind, and it understands that its entire existence is based on knowing, one, that it's a tree, and two, that it has everything it needs on the way to it every single day, all day, forever, for his entire existence. So that's it for tonight. Complex subject. The reason I wanted to talk about it is because I'm reading the book again, and once I start reading it, I get so in depth with it. I just love it. It just changed my life. Go pick up the book. Let me know if you need help buying the book, and I'll help you out. Love you guys. Talk to you guys later.